Hey guys, what's up? We are back. This week we are building up the chest with one of the best exercises that have ever been done, and that is the dumbbell chest fly, okay? Now Arnold was a big fan of this exercise, right?
Yeah, he said it built a lot of mass and strength and definition, depending on weight, reps, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's his favorite was that, well, and the cable.
Yeah, yeah. So you'd always see him going really deep, go way down. That can cause a problem, however, because he tore his pec not just once, but twice doing the exercise. So we're going to talk about the exercise because it is a great exercise to build the chest, but we're also going to talk a little bit about the dangers of it and certain demographics that probably should stay away from it, but you guys don't get off so easy if you fall in that demographic. We have two alternatives that you guys can use to still get a great chest workout. So first of all, let's talk a little bit, as we always do here the past few weeks, we've talked about the anatomy and the function of the muscle we're working. Now the anatomy of the chest is made up of three portions: the upper, middle, and lower portion of the chest, right? The clavicular fibers, the sternocostal fibers, and the abdominal fibers that sit at the bottom, okay? You guys don't need to know that, but just understand the main function of the chest primarily is to bring the arm across midline. Horizontal adduction is what it's called. It also adducts the arm to the side and internally rotates the shoulder a little bit too. But the fly is mainly going to work on that adduction, that horizontal adduction of bringing the arm across the body, as well as a great stretch.
Plus it'll make you really good at hugging.
Yeah, and women love that, right?
Yeah.
Right, so that's probably an exercise they would probably really encourage their guy to do. So we got you covered here today. So Chaz, go ahead and talk a little bit about the setup and then the execution. First of all, with the setup of just the classic flat bench fly.
Well, really, on the setup with dumbbells, when you lay back, you always want to have your shoulder blades driven back into the bench. That'll kind of help stretch that chest out. It'll give you more chest involvement. So when you have those shoulder blades back, you can actually get more of an extension. It doesn't put as much stress on the shoulder blades.
Okay, and as far as the depth, because I talked about Arnold going too deep and tearing his pec.
That'll kind of help like stop from going too deep with that move, but also you can go deeper with proper involvement of the chest. You don't have to worry about like overextending and then having, especially if you had that chest flat and your shoulder blades weren't back, if you brought that all the way out, you would actually be working other parts that you weren't really trying to focus on. So,
and one thing I know a lot of guys will say is they feel like when they go really deep, they get a better stretch because they're going really deep. The problem is they're not really putting a lot of stretch and attention anymore on the chest. They're putting attention on another muscle. It's called the coracobrachialis, which isn't part of the chest at all, and you're putting a lot of strain on that. So you're not actually getting a better stretch in the chest. You're getting a stretch on another muscle that has nothing to do with your chest development. So I think that's something else. And then of course the possibility of tearing the pec increases.
Yeah. And then when you have, of course, the proper function with the elbows out and then the elbows in. Of course, if you bring them out like that and you don't have those shoulder blades out, you put a lot of tension and stress on the other joints. On the medial elbow too.
Yeah,
oh yeah, God.
Yeah. Medial epicondylitis is something you guys don't want to fight because that will put you out of the...
It's a big word.
Yeah, medial epicondylitis.
Medial.
Pain right in here on the inner part of the elbow.
We all know what medial means.
Yeah. anyway, it's something you guys just want to think about because performing the exercise can have implications on other areas of the body that you don't want to cause problems.
Very important to do the moves properly.
Right, exactly. So as good as the exercise as this is, we also want to look at maybe a couple demographics that probably should stay away from the exercise. And I feel probably beginners sometimes, like just people that are just beginning, don't have that mind-muscle connection, to really get that down. So they should probably stick a little bit maybe more with pressing, and then they can, before long they can go into a fly.
Yeah.
And then also people that have a shoulder injury, just because you want to make sure those shoulders are not impacted, because it is, no matter how good of mechanics you have, it still is a lot of strain.
Yeah,
kind of when you come out there,
that shoulder out no matter what. They're all connected, so they're all working in sync. You have one primary mover, you have one secondary, and then you have antagonists, stuff like that. So it's there's a lot of stuff working, and
one can affect another. Yeah, that's something that people got to realize. So we have a couple alternatives for that. So you guys that fall in this demographic of people that probably shouldn't be doing the exercise, you don't get off so easy. We have two exercises here, and Chaz is demonstrating here the dumbbell floor fly. Now the nice thing about this is you kind of have a safety net as the floor to protect yourself. You can't go any lower than the
floor. Get the elbows stop at the floor.
You're still getting good stretch.
Yeah, you can still keep the shoulder blades back a little bit, just not as much because you don't have that extension, but you still have the safety of the floor stopping those elbows. You can still feel the stretch, you can still feel the flex at the top, so you know that you're in a safe position to do the move, then you're not going to hurt yourself going down into that negative.
Yeah, that's good. And then of course a cable crossover is another way you can do it, and you're still getting that extreme horizontal adduction. You're probably getting a little bit more contraction on the chest at the top of the movement.
Yeah.
Because of the cable, the strength curve is a little bit different with a cable than it is with a dumbbell. Where is the dumbbell, you're just holding them up there, you're not having quite as much of that peak tension on the chest at that peak top movement portion.
That might be something that maybe you were talking about beginners could do that, and that would help them kind of maybe focus more.
And get a mind-muscle connection developed.
Yeah, and then just do it with like a lighter weight, and then they can kind of focus on that. You'd still get a pump. It's just really just adding that move in, focusing, getting comfortable with it, doing it properly.
Right, so there we go, guys. Another great exercise at building the chest. Want to thank you guys. Actually, the past 2 weeks' videos have got really good reception.
Oh yeah.
We got great reception on last week's video on building bigger arms on the biceps portion of the exercise of the series.
I think I lost some weight.
What's that?
I think I lost weight and volume.
Well, they still look pretty okay, I think. So anyway,
that's right.
So anyway, hope you guys have a great week. Happy 4th of July to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, it's 4th of July week. So everybody be safe.
Yep.
But enjoy the holiday. Falls on a Saturday this year, so you know people are going to go absolutely crazy.
Don't Jason Pierre-Paul on the, was his name Jason Pierre-Paul?
I believe so. I almost forgot about that.
What did it say, Pierre-Paul?
Yeah.
Just don't do that. We need all these.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Look it up on YouTube.
Yep.
The videos are all over the place.
Not
viral.
cool at all.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys have a great week. Have a happy holiday. We'll see you before long. See ya.